I'm Drew, and this is another Mission RV Services Monday Quick Tip. So, today we are going to talk about our top 5. What are the top 5 calls we get? Our number 1 is AC. So, one of the biggest calls I go on is my AC is not blowing as cold as it used to be, or my AC won't come on anymore. So there are some AC calls where you definitely need a qualified technician to go up either on the roof or into the control area and resolve the problem. But the one we do get a lot is my AC is not blowing cold anymore. So when we go in, the number one thing I find is proper maintenance hasn't been done on that unit. I pull the cover down from inside, or even if it's a fully ducted unit, I pull the filters and I look at them, and boy, let me tell you, they're so dirty that you would think a family of squirrels was living up in them. So you're not getting any airflow into the unit. If you're not getting airflow in, you are not going to get airflow out, and it is going to dramatically impact your coolness. So you want to be nice and cool in your camper. Make sure you're doing your part to keep that air flowing in that system. This is something you should be doing as an RV owner. And if you need an AC cleaned, some DIYers out there will do it themselves, but get a hold of a qualified RV technician at least once a year. Make sure somebody's getting up on that roof and cleaning those coils out. Our number 2 is slide outs. So, slide out issues. You will not believe the amount of times we go out to a call to check on my slide outs will not come in. So normally what happens is people are at a campground, they disconnect everything. The last thing they're going to do is bring those slide outs in so they can head back to the road after a great trip with their family. And they go to hit the slide out button for retract, and it does nothing. And they're like, I just don't get it. We're in a panic now. They call us and they're like, hey, we can't get the slide outs in. Can you just come and do an emergency procedure and get these slide outs in? So I will come out. The first thing I'll do is check their battery. A lot of times I'll find out everything's been working great their trip because they've been plugged into shore power, but they have never maintained these batteries. Batteries are dry as a bone, they're not charging any longer, and they just have a power issue. But the other thing you can check as an RV owner, again, we're going back to maintenance. What can I do as an RV owner to avoid calling a technician to come out and take care of me, is look under your slide out. If you have a tracked system, how dirty is it? Am I tracked so dirty that when it goes to, those gears go to turn, or they go to draw that slide out in, do I have obstructions? Do I have garbage in there because I haven't been cleaning them and maintaining them? Am I using the right lubricants? Am I following the manufacturer's recommendations as an RV owner to maintain my slide outs so they work every time? So a lot of times when we go out to calls, electrical's one, the other one is just plain maintenance. They're not doing it. We can usually scrub some gears out and we can get that slide out working for them. But if it's anything beyond that, then yes, you did the right thing by calling a qualified RV technician. So with our electrical, we have fuses. So lights aren't working. Did you check your automotive style fuses? My AC is not working. Did you check your circuit breakers? So a lot of times Jen fields a lot of these calls for us, and she asks those questions. When you checked your breaker, did you push it all the way down when you saw it was popped before you pushed it back up? It needs a full reset. Push that breaker down, then push it up. Also, are you maintaining your batteries? We go back to that a lot. Pop those covers off there. Are they full of water? And they should be full, and if they're not, add distilled water to it to try to get that battery back to a maintained charging. If you roasted that battery, then you just need to replace it. But you have to check those batteries and maintain them. Very important to your system. Everything is controlled by 12 volt in our campers and RVs. 12 volts is the brains, 120 volt is the brawn. So make sure you're doing the right thing and checking those batteries. But also, if something goes out, always go to your fuse panel first. Check your fuses, check your circuit breakers before you call a qualified RV technician out. Number 4, RV awnings. We get this a lot in Texas, we get this a lot in Michigan, and I know other techs get it all over the place. And the biggest thing is, you're looking up at your awning, you'll have pinholes in it. You'll have just streaks and things. And that's because a lot of people might do a good job of cleaning their campers, but they neglect the awning. They leave that awning rolled up, they never clean it. So there's different techniques and different solutions and styles and cleaners out there. Look them up on the old interwebs and on YouTube and see what's the best method that you might want to tackle to keeping your awning in tip-top shape. You can avoid a new awning replacement prematurely just by keeping it clean and by putting protectants on it. It's no different than your tires or the sidewalls on your rig. If you take care of that awning, it's going to take care of you by keeping your rig cooler and keeping you out of the rain. But even if you have high winds and issues going on, make sure you're rolling that awning up. Don't leave it out there to flap in the breeze too heavily. Roll that awning up. The most important thing is keeping it clean. I can't tell you how many times we've gone out to replace awning fabrics that are only a few years old, and a little bit of maintenance would have gone a long way to preserving that awning to make it, hey, this awning lasted me 10 years before replacement instead of 3 to 5 years. And lastly, water leaks. But a lot of times I get out to a call and I'm ready to go. I got my PEX clamp, I got my PEX tubing and everything I need to go replace some pipe. And what do I end up finding? I look at the connector under the sink and I give it 2 little turns. And then I go, it's all fixed. And then they look at me and go, what do you mean it's all fixed? There was a ton of water under there. I say, yes sir, but your camper is 10 years old now, and something that is recommended as an RV owner as part of your basic maintenance is go around to your connectors and tighten them up. Remember, you're driving a mobile earthquake down the road, and the more this thing moves and vibrates, things that screw together tend to unscrew. You'll see screws on your floor sometimes and go, okay, that thing must have vibrated loose because I'm driving a mobile earthquake down the road. But why wouldn't you think that your water connectors could do the same exact thing? So go around your rig once a year and just reach up there and give a little snuggy snug, and you're going to save yourself a trip from a qualified RV technician to do it for you. That's the first thing you should check whenever you have a leak of water. Now, if you have split pipes because you didn't winterize properly or somebody didn't winterize properly for you, now you're going to need a qualified RV technician to go in, cut that piping out, resplice it in, and get some quality connectors in to make sure we resolve those water issues, because water is the enemy when it comes to your RVs and maintaining their health and making sure we're not rotting wooden things out, cabinets and whatnot. That is our top 5 customer calls and complaints, and what you can do to try to avoid a visit from a qualified RV technician. But if you do need a qualified RV technician, don't be afraid to call one, and don't be embarrassed to call one. That's what we're here for. We're here to help, and so are other qualified RV technicians across the country. If you found this video useful or helpful, click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted to other Mission RV Services Monday Quick Tips. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer them for you. But until next Monday, this has been a Mission RV Services Monday Quick Tip. For Jen and I, we'll see you later. Bye.